Okay, folks, I spent yesterday yanking the fuel tank out of this. It'd been a minute since I had it out, and I put a new fuel cylinder in it last year, and I couldn't remember. I couldn't find the parts that I ordered. But anyway, my tank is like an LMC truck tank, or maybe a Brothers tank, or maybe a CJ Ponies part tank. But it's a tank for underbed C10, not fuel injected. So I had to buy the fuel cylinder from them. I remember doing that quite some time ago, but the hole's too small for the electric fuel pump that I ordered, so I'm going to go with an external pump now. I already got the Corvette filter on its way. I've got fuel line coming. I've already got the fuel line on top on. I got the fan in. I elected to go with the manual fan for now. Got an air intake system on it. I got a MAP valve already on it. I got my MAP sensor. I've already got my wires ran. I wasn't going to clear that with the boot that I had and the fan, so that's the direction I went for now. Probably not going to be the permanent setup, but the whole idea of this exercise is to get up and get running and see how much it really costs, and then go from there. I'm going to get AN fittings to fit on the transmission cooler lines and mount them up to the stock radiator. Got a little bit of grounds to go. I still haven't mounted my wires on the inside. The truck's been up on the lift, and it's kind of inconvenient to work around the post. So once I get done underneath, we'll start running power to it, and then we'll check for stuff like fuel leaks and all that. And once we get that going, get a little bit of that wiring taken care of on the inside, then we'll think about starting it up. But we're much closer now. I've got the heater hose going here. Not a bad deal. Yes, these C10s, they run the water through here nonstop. There is a valve in there to shut it off. I don't have that valve hooked up. You don't want these to not have water circulating, especially since I'm using this right now because I'm not doing a different radiator for my steam port. So that's my steam port fitting for now. Again, once we get up and running and I can play with it and drive it and play with it and drive it and see what I want to do, the gauge thing's kind of wearing me smooth a little bit too. I really want the interior to look nice. Those gauges get expensive. It would be 25% or more of what I've already got into this build. So I wasn't trying to cheap it out. I was trying to see what it takes to get one of these things up and running if you do it yourself. You know, I'm seeing guys around town, you know, $8,000 to $10,000 to do an LS swap. Obviously, your labor isn't free. Don't expect it to be. I've worked a lot on this thing. A lot of this stuff for me, I spend a lot of time trying to figure out what I'm going to do and how it's going to work. Or people that have done the swaps have already done that. So just like with this tank, I order parts, wait for them to come. They come, and then they don't fit. It's my fault. I don't know. So I got to figure that stuff out. Having that aftermarket tank in the truck when I got it kind of helped and hurt. They've already cut a hole in the bed. I don't want to cut another hole in the bed. I will if I have to. But anyway, long story short, I'm getting the list a lot smaller. I got to wire up my TCC switch. I got to hook a hot wire to my fuel pump relay, which goes with the fuel system. I got to figure out what I'm going to do with the dash and gauges. That doesn't have to be imperative. I've got the heater hose dialed. I think I got the radiator hoses dialed. I haven't ordered them yet. I got to do the transmission cooling lines once I get the fueling system done. And again, I got a little bit more wiring to do. I got my American Auto Wire box back out to kind of see what's the best wire to hook the ignition wire to for my starter relay, which I gotta do that too, or for the fuel pump relay, not the starter relay. And then I'll be ready to put this bad boy on. What I liked about the American Auto Wire system is that thing right there just bolts right in, and then you just got to slide the clip on and it's good to go. Hook up your ground wires, hook up your starter wire, and hot wires and such, and it'll be finished. Another thing I got to do, I'm getting ready to go on a Jeep trip, so I got to finish cleaning up this mess that I've created with doing 4 or 5 projects at once. Another thing that I'm doing over here is I'm doing the very, very cheap version of insulation. We use a packaged meal company. They send our food fresh, not frozen, and they send all kinds of this insulation. And after throwing a little bit of it away, I thought, well, why come I'm not sticking it up here on the wall? And all of that insulation is free. So I bought the furring strips. I'm just kind of cramming them in there for now. But eventually I'll be able to start putting paneling up, and I wanted to get some of that stuff out of the way. I had accumulated a bunch of that, and I wanted to get that out of the way today. My granddaughter came over. She had some things she was wanting to play with today. So a lot of stuff going on, and like I said, we're gonna, next video, I might get something done on this truck this week. Fuel system's supposed to be back in tomorrow, so we'll see what happens. But otherwise, the next big video will be Jeeping. We're gonna go to Tennessee via Alabama. We're gonna try the Stony Lonesome Park out for a day or 2 days, and then we're gonna head on up to the Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion. So a lot of stuff going on. Big thing is I wanna get this truck put back together, sorted out, running, because I like to drive them and work on them. I know I'm retarded. A lot of people say, well, just do it right the first time. That's not me. I don't want to do it that way. I want to drive it. So I bought this truck to drive. I bought this truck to LS swap. I'm going to drive it. My LS swap Jeep came in a kit. I put the complete kit on. I spent a month adjusting, make sure I didn't have leaks, fixing this, fixing that, and then it's been my daily driver. I've got 37,000 miles on it now. I love that thing. Drive it every day. I want this to be the same way.